AITA for refusing to help my father and stepmother and telling them they deserve it. This is going to be a long one, but I need to give some context for why I reacted the way I did. I, 25F, grew up in what I thought was a happy family. My parents seemed like they loved each other, and we had a comfortable life. Then, when I was 10, my mom found out my dad had been cheating on her for 2 years with a woman named Samantha. The divorce was messy, and my mom got the short end of the stick financially. My dad pushed for 50-50 custody, but in reality, I ended up staying with my mom most of the time because Samantha made it pretty clear she didn't like me. From the moment Samantha came into the picture, everything changed. My dad, who used to be my hero, became someone I barely recognized. Suddenly, Samantha's wants and needs were the priority. If I asked to spend time with him, it was always, "Let me check with Samantha," or "We already have plans." Even when we did hang out, she'd insert herself into every activity, making me feel like the awkward third wheel. When I was 13, Samantha got pregnant with my half-brother, followed by my half-sister 2 years later. That was the nail in the coffin for our relationship. It was like I didn't exist anymore. My birthdays were forgotten, and when I brought it up, I was told I was being too sensitive. One year, they skipped my birthday entirely because they wanted to take a family trip to Disney World with just the 4 of them. I remember one time when I was 15, I asked my dad to come to a school play I was in. He promised he'd be there. I waited backstage, scanning the audience, but he never showed. When I called him afterward, crying, he casually said, "Sorry, sweetie. Samantha wasn't feeling well and I had to stay home with the kids." No apology, no effort to make it up to me. My mom, on the other hand, was my rock. She worked 2 jobs to make sure I had what I needed and never let me feel like I was a burden. She encouraged me to work hard in school and apply for scholarships because we didn't have much money. Thanks to her support, I graduated college with no debt and landed a well-paying job in my field. Meanwhile, my dad's financial situation has been steadily declining. Samantha doesn't work, and my dad's business has been struggling for years. He used to brag about how much better off he was than my mom, but now they're drowning in debt. Last week, I got a call from my dad out of the blue. At first, I was surprised because we don't talk much anymore. He started with small talk, asking how work was going, and whether I was still living in the same apartment. I could tell he was buttering me up for something. Then he dropped the bomb. I needed money. He explained that they were behind on their mortgage and that Samantha's car was about to be repossessed. He said they were desperate and that I was their last hope. Samantha even got on the phone crying about how hard things have been for them and how family helps family. Here's the thing. They didn't just ask, they demanded. Samantha said it was the least I could do after everything they sacrificed for me. That set me off. I asked her what exactly they had sacrificed. My dad jumped in, saying they gave me a roof over my head and paid for my extracurriculars when I was a kid. I reminded him that those were basic parental responsibilities, not some grand favor. I told them I wasn't going to help them financially or otherwise. I said maybe this was karma for the way they treated me and my mom. That's when all hell broke loose. Samantha started sobbing, calling me heartless, and saying I was punishing them for the past. My dad yelled, saying I was ungrateful and that I wouldn't even have the life I have now if it weren't for him. I fired back, telling him my success was because of my mom, not him, and that he and Samantha had done nothing but make me feel like an outsider in my own family. I hung up, but it didn't stop there. They've been blowing up my phone with texts and voicemails. My dad even had the audacity to send me a long email detailing all the times he was there for me, like driving me to soccer practice when I was 9 and buying me a Christmas gift one year. I didn't even bother replying. Now, extended family members are getting involved. My aunt, my dad's sister, called me, saying I should be the bigger person and help them out. She said blood is thicker than water and that I'd regret not helping when my dad had gone. I asked her where she was when I needed support growing up. She had no answer. The only person who fully supports me is my mom. She told me I don't owe them anything and that it's not my responsibility to clean up their mess. Still, part of me feels guilty. I wonder if I went too far by bringing up karma and saying they deserved what's happening to them.
Top comment responses. Commenter 1, NTA. You're 100% NTA. Your dad and stepmom treated you like an afterthought for years and are only reaching out now because they need something. The fact that they're trying to guilt you into helping shows they haven't changed. Stand your ground. This isn't your responsibility. OP's reply. Thank you. I think the guilt comes from years of being told I was ungrateful or selfish for wanting basic attention. It's hard to shake that off, even when I know they're in the wrong. Commenter 2. I get why you're upset and your feelings are valid, but telling them they deserve it was harsh. You can set boundaries without being cruel. That said, they sound entitled, and it's not your job to bail them out. OP's reply. You're right. It probably wasn't the most mature thing to say. I think I just snapped because this isn't the first time they've tried to guilt me, and it felt like years of frustration bubbling over. Commenter 3. Have they ever apologized for how they treated you? Or is this just a pattern of them expecting you to sweep everything under the rug? OP's reply. They've never apologized. If anything, they act like the past wasn't a big deal and that I should just get over it. I've brought it up before, but they always deflect or play the victim. Follow-up post, posted 2 weeks later. Update. AITA for refusing to help my father and stepmother and telling them they deserve it. Wow, I didn't expect my original post to blow up like it did. First, thank you to everyone who commented, messaged, and shared their perspective. It really helped me process everything. Here's what's happened since. After my post, my dad sent me another email, this time less angry and more pleading. He said they were at risk of losing their home and that they've been too proud to ask for help until now. He admitted they made mistakes in the past but didn't directly apologize. Samantha also sent a long text claiming I was tearing the family apart and asking how I could live with myself knowing my half-siblings might end up homeless. I decided to stick to my boundaries but wanted to address things calmly. I wrote back to my dad, saying I understood their situation was hard, but reminded him that for most of my life, I felt like I didn't matter to him. I told him I wasn't going to help financially, and that if he truly wanted to rebuild a relationship, it would take more than guilt trips and excuses. As for Samantha, I didn't reply. I don't think she deserves my energy after years of making me feel like an outsider in my own family. Since then, I've been getting mixed reactions from extended family. Some are on my side, saying it's not my job to bail out my dad and Samantha after the way they treated me. Others are calling me selfish and cruel. One cousin even posted a passive-aggressive Facebook status about kids abandoning their parents when they're old and struggling. I block them. The only bright spot has been my mum. She told me she's proud of me for standing up for myself and reminded me that it's okay to prioritize my own well-being. For now, I'm focusing on my life and the people who've actually been there for me. I don't regret my decision, but it's been tough dealing with the backlash. To those who said I should go to therapy to work through the lingering guilt, thank you. I've already started looking into options, and I think it'll help me unpack everything and move forward. Once again, thank you to everyone who commented. I really appreciated the support and the reality checks.